Hey guys, I'm Nix and welcome to C Magazine. And here we have the all-new Toyota Raize. It's finally here on the Philippine market. We asked Toyota Philippines, how do you pronounce this? They said it's Raize, but instead of an S, it's a Z. So the Toyota Raize. What we have here is the Toyota Raize 1.2G. There's actually a top-of-the-line variant, which is the 1-liter turbo. But we decided to get this one because we're sure that most likely this is the one you'll be looking at. But don't worry guys, we'll be getting the 1-liter turbo to test out and we'll make a review on that as well. So stick around. This Toyota variant, the 1.2G, comes with, as the name implies, a 1.2-liter gasoline engine which churns out 88 brake horsepower and 117 Newton meters worth of torque. And as far as transmission is concerned, they paired it with the CVT. Styling-wise, I have to say this car is a looker, especially in person and especially on this red color. Let's start with the front grille. It has a Toyota touch. Like, if I'm not mistaken, this is the look of the other Toyota SUVs. So the Toyota RAV4, the Toyota Fortuner LTD, they have a very similar front. And so the Toyota Raize, I'm glad it has this corporate look. That's unmistakable. If you get the 1.2G of the Toyota Raize, you will get these LED split type headlights. And then the Toyota Raize 1.2G, it comes with 16-inch alloy wheels. And if I'm not mistaken, the 1-liter turbo comes with 17-inch wheels. So something to keep in mind. If the front looks good, wait till you see it at the back. You get these nice LED tail lights. You know, they look tubular and angular, which is a really nice touch to the futuristic look. Design-wise, I'll say that the Toyota Raize is really trying to hit those futuristic notes. The Toyota Raize 1.2G comes with a 7-inch TFT display for the gauge cluster. So right here, it's digital all throughout. The pixel density is clear, the screen is clear. It's well put together, guys. It's well put together. If you go reverse or you're going slow speed, just like the Hilux and the Fortuner, you actually have the wheel position. You can actually see it here. So like when you're turning, it's a small detail, but it helps a lot, especially in city driving, to know without seeing your wheel position. And then you have your settings, so display brightness, time, date, designs. That is so cool. Man, with all these settings, you can have the Toyota Raize the way you want it to behave. You want it to be the kind of car that's like simple, it doesn't tell you anything. You want it the kind of car that will remind you and all that stuff. You can have it the way you want it. Whatever Toyota Raize you get, it all comes with an infotainment system that has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. The differences are, with the 1.2G and below, you get this 8-inch infotainment system. And as for the 1-liter turbo variant, you get a 9-inch infotainment system. But both come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. This may be an entry-level car, but I'm telling you, the screen is impressive. It's a simple touch, but it makes a huge difference when it comes to the overall aesthetic. I like that it's leather covered. So this is like reminiscent of, if I'm not mistaken, the Toyota 86. They have this design that, like, it's automatic, but it makes it feel manual with this like leather cover over here. I think it's a beautiful touch. That's the front seat of the car. Let's now go to the back seat. One thing you notice right away is that the rear passenger door opens almost at a 90-degree angle, which means that it's really easy to get into the car. Okay, so I'm a 5'11" guy, so I'm pretty big, and as you can tell, there is a lot of headroom and legroom in this car. So I moved the seats here as far back as possible and then made the incline as reasonable as possible. I have 4.5 inches of knee room over here. And that's a lot of space. But what's more impressive is the headroom. So if I'm sitting straight, there's around 4 inches of headroom as well. So really tall guys, if they sit here at the back, they wouldn't feel cramped. Yes, it has a 60-40. Oh! That's a 60-40 split. And I think it's gonna flatbed, guys. I actually think it's gonna flatbed, so we'll check it out in a bit. Yeah, that's pretty much the back of the Toyota Raize. And other than that, nothing much to say, which is, I mean, in this category, it's expected. So let's now go to the trunk. So now for the trunk of the Toyota Raize. I do like this touch. They have a trunk privacy cover over here, so you can put your stuff here in the trunk and it won't be seen by people outside. And it's soft, look at that. If you look here, there are instructions for this cover. You fold it to, and then attach. Ah, there, okay. And then attach. Aha! There you go, there's instructions, I like that. But look, you can actually fold it, attach it, and then put it here. That's simple. You can actually make the trunk of the Toyota Raize deeper by getting the spare tire cover, sliding it here at the bottom, and voila! You have more trunk space. You can see that you're maximizing the trunk space by making it deeper. And then for those who need it to be a flatbed, you can have that option by getting the spare tire cover, putting it up here, and then collapse the seats from here. And voila! You have your flatbed configuration. You can see the versatility of the Toyota Raize when it comes to interior space. You can turn it to a flatbed, you can turn it to a deep trunk, you can turn it to a 5-seater, a 3-seater. Whatever configuration you want, you can set the Toyota Raize in. Without looking at the price, the Toyota Raize 1.2G is an excellent drive. The steering of the Toyota Raize, it's light, it's comfortable. I'm not muscling anything up, but firm enough that when I'm trying to make a turn, it's intuitive. So it's light but not loose, and I like that feeling. But what's really impressive when you compare this to its competitors is the power delivery. Going back to price, cars at the million pesos, they're always looked at as economy cars. And I mean, makes sense because they're small cars, they're trying to be fuel efficient, so on and so forth. And because of that, when their transmissions programmed, they're programmed to be as efficient as possible. So when you're driving around, it feels good, like when you're smooth driving like this. But then when you step on the gas all of a sudden, trying to demand power at that moment, most of these cars in this category, they're on the hesitant side. And we tried it because when you put it on manual mode and then like go through the gears, they have the engine power. But the transmission is engineered or designed to be as fuel efficient as possible. So they usually have the characteristic of it doesn't feel as responsive. And we don't fault the cars for that. The Toyota Raize, on the other hand, behaves like a regular car. I guess by the numbers, it might not be as efficient as them, but probably by a margin. But what I like about this is, if I need to go fast all of a sudden, it responds right away. And it responds the way I want it to. I don't feel like it's lacking on anything. So that's where I'm impressed with the Toyota Raize. They went with a really good CVT transmission. They went with a reasonably sized 1.2-liter gasoline engine. And the steering drives well. So when you put all that together, you just end up with a really good driving experience with the Toyota Raize. Who is this car for? The Toyota Raize in general are for those who are looking for a practical car that's mechanically sound and efficient with its use of space. And as for the 1.2G, I think it is such a well-equipped practical car. For those who want a sweet spot of what practical is and efficient, the Toyota Raize, especially on the 1.2G, is the answer to all that.